After I have all my materials ready and pencils sharpened, I start toning the paper by sprinkling charcoal powder on the page and spreading it out with a sausage, not with a sausage, a sachet, to get a medium gray. That will be value 5. We rub it a little with a cotton ball to take off the excess. I began drawing using a long stick of soft vine charcoal, and I like to use this because vine charcoal is very light and it can be easily erased with just a finger or the hand. And at the beginning you're very tentative because you don't really know if your proportions are right. You have to be prepared to be wrong and to make mistakes at first and find your way through the drawing. So as you're finding your way through the drawing, later on, we will be adding the darker pencils and the harder pencils because those are harder to erase, especially the really dark ones, and you don't want to have that problem. In here you can see very clearly face dimensions and structure, and notice how point B is exactly right in the middle of the page, and that's exactly where the eyes go, right in the middle. Now of course this only affects or only happens to faces that are looking at you straightforward, not the ones that are foreshortened, looking down or looking up. Then the proportions are completely altered. But if a face is looking at you straight, like in the case of the drawing we're making, then point B, that will be exactly where the eyes are, and that will be exactly in the middle of the page. Well, not exactly in the middle of the page, in the middle of the face between point A and point E. Apparently I didn't drink enough coffee today. As I'm progressing with the drawing, I continue to measure. I never really stop measuring because you lose your drawing as you keep working on it. The drawing process is a lot like the painting process. You sometimes feels like you're taking 2 steps back and only 1 step forward, or vice versa. You take 2 steps forward and then you take 1 step back, and then in the end, the closer you get to the finish, the better you see it and the less problems you have. It starts taking shape, and then that's when you really start making progress. So be patient and allow the progress and trust the process to unfold at its due time. These things take time, and I don't draw as fast as in this video. this is sped up substantially. I will normally pick a page or a size of paper substantially larger than the one I'm using right now. This size is 11 by 14. And you can see the face is a little crowded. For compositional reasons, I would like it to be longer, so the end of the chin falls about the middle of the page. In this case, it's falling really low, so it doesn't really show her stature. Her neck is kind of, loose in there. But it was harder for the purpose of the demonstration to get everything on film along with the photo. It was much easier to do it smaller like that. But on my finished drawings, my favorite size is actually between 16 by 20 and 19 by 24. And I will take the drawings normally much farther than I'm taking this one. And many of my drawings actually take me longer than a painting, and it's hard to imagine, but they do. And the reason is, with a painting you can pretty it up really nicely with color. There are so many elements in there, but with charcoal you're limited to just black and white, or black. The whites are actually lifted, the black's lifted off the paper, because I don't use white charcoal. It's important to observe that there's always a light-dark pattern throughout, and I'm putting a photo in here to show you where there is a shadow, then there is a light, and then there is a shadow, and then there is a light, and all of that taken into consideration and applying it in your drawings or your paintings will make them a lot more realistic. Okay. I know what you're thinking. Oh, what happened? She looks completely different now. Well, I have to apologize here, but for some reason I forgot to hit the record on my phone, so I did not record about 10 minutes of it. But I'm gonna tell you what I did. What I did in those 10 minutes is basically I cleaned it up a little bit. I've refined the features just a little, and I left all of the excess darks that were there because they were not allowing me to see what I really had. So that's the only thing that I did, and I promise that in the future that will not happen. There's just so many things that you have to remember, and I'm a newbie here. I haven't been making videos very long, so every day that I do something is a learning opportunity for me, and my goal is if I can make every video just slightly better than the previous one, then I'm gonna be happy with myself. The last clip of this video, somehow it got moved to the right and you can see more of my face and less of the drawing, and I have to apologize for that. Somehow it got moved. I like to blame it on the cat or the cats. I have 2 cats, but it was probably me. I moved the easel and I failed to check it before I started hitting record, and I didn't realize that later when I put it on the computer. Then I realized it's moved and you can't really see it well, so I'm going to apologize for that, and this is another thing that I will check in the future to make sure that it doesn't happen. Well, this is looking, I think, pretty good right now and good enough, so I think I'm going to call this one done for today. And I hope you enjoy this video, and if you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and that way I will be encouraged to make more videos in the future.